Hey, everybody. You are live with me, Lisa Campion, and one of my best friends ever and co-collaborators, Jane Bear. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Lisa.
So Jane and I, we decided a couple of years ago that we were going to do this crazy thing. We were going to start a mystery school. Jane called me up one day and she's like, Lisa, let's do a mystery school. And I was like, oh, I thought about it for a minute and I was like, and then I thought about it a lot more. And then I knew that it was something we had to do. So we really wanted to share. And it's been great. We're just about closing out our first year of running the school together. And we really wanted to talk about, well, like, what is a mystery school? And the name of our mystery school is called the Quantum Mystic Mystery School. We're starting up again in June. And like it's such a fascinating topic. Like, what is a mystery school? What's a quantum mystery school? This is questions that people have, and we wanted to answer them. So here we are talking about it.
Yeah, such a fun topic for us.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Y-
And, something I think we're both really passionate about, especially after coming off of our first year teaching in this specific mystery school.
Yep.
And then we're going to be moving into our second year, but also starting another first year. So
Mhm.
super fun.
Yeah, for people that haven't maybe don't know what that is or like haven't heard of that term, let's talk for a minute about like what is a mystery school and then what is our mystery school because they're not really all the same, but let's start with a little bit like what is a mystery school to start with.
Yeah. I'm mystery schools have been around forever since I don't know humans have been around ancient times, and
Mhm.
it's really offering spiritual seekers a different, um, a really specific way of learning ancient wisdom and knowledge about themselves and knowledge about the universe and all the unseen forces that really shape our reality that and I feel like they mystery schools teach the truth. And back in the day, long day ago, it was all spoken word. It was handed down like
Mhm.
people were told these truths, um,
Right.
and that's why ours is a modern mystery school. It's a bit different, but I know that you have a lot to say about mystery schools and where they come from.
Yeah, they really have like from an ancient lineage as far as we've like you said, as we've been asking questions about what is the nature of humanity, what is the nature of consciousness, what is our relationship to universe, to God, to source, to like how we're understanding the mysteries of ourselves, the universe, and our connection to the universe. I think that's what really the mystery schools are about. And I think for a long time they were so they're understanding the mystery of, that those big questions that we ask ourselves. And then for a long time they were kind of secret. So the mystery school too, like there were mystery schools in ancient Egypt and you know, um, all across the world. The Tibetan, Buddhism is sort of a big mystery school. Every culture has one
Yeah.
because we're as humans, we're all asking ourselves those questions. And for a long time, they were kind of like people didn't know. Like you had to like climb up to the highest mountain in Tibet and you had to bang on the door and maybe they
Mhm.
would let you in and teach you and maybe they wouldn't.
Mhm.
And now what I think is amazing about the modern mystery school is we're especially the way we're doing it which is more in a virtual platform, is that we're making this available to everyone who, is seeking sort of to answer what it means to be me and what it means to be me in the universe and like all these bigger questions that we ask. So there's a lot of mysticism and metaphysical knowledge. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
totally agree. And it's about because we can learn on our own, of course. And I think a lot of us these days have because um, just by nature of the world. And but it's a place. It's like a place where you can come with other like-minded people and really
Mhm.
have that guidance through the process of awakening. Because I think
Yeah.
we all need help sometimes.
Mm.
So these schools really give that direct experience. And, I know our school, talking about the more modern mystery schools, is taking that theory, that wisdom, and bringing it into practice. And I think that that's something that I love about our school.
Yeah, I think it really provides a container because I think you can really only get so far on your own, and then you need the community, mentorship. It's like kinda like trying to look at the back of your own head, like you need a mirror to help reflect,
Yeah.
to you the parts of yourself that you can't see.
Yep.
And that reflection comes through the interactions with the other students and with us and with the material, itself. I think because we can't see what we can't see, and then we need that help to look a like level deeper than we can get to on our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And something really cool, I talking about our the Quantum Mystic Mystery School is, um, I mean, what do you think? How do you think that it's different from other spiritual programs? Because there's now with just this time of awakening that we're in,
Mhm.
um, as we move into the age of Aquarius and the vibration of the Earth is raising. What do
Mhm.
you sets ours apart?
I think it's like a really deep integration of sort of theory and practice, you know? So we're concentrating a lot on the theoretical models, but we're also there's such a backbone of meditation practice, spiritual practice. We're sort of integrating both. And then we're bringing in this quantum. That's why we call it the Quantum Mystic Mystery School. What does that mean? It's kind of an acceleration of our consciousness into new realms that maybe we haven't been able to access before. So we're bringing in chakra healings, nervous system regulation, emotional regulation. So it's not about sort of passively learning like maybe you would if you were just reading a book, but an immersive experience that really reprograms our energy field and shifts our consciousness in a really tangible way. And I think that's what I've noticed the most about my own participation in the school, what I've seen in our students this year. It's a consciousness raising school.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's from, you know, we've created this framework so that over 8 months you're guided through that framework and to really deepen your own understanding of who of yourself, of ourselves. Um and it's really great because we have this container, like you said, of the two of us, but then the other
Mhm.
students to sort of mirror ourselves off of and learn from. Um, and we've got a great comment asking, um, how do you see your students applying their learning from the school into their daily lives, struggles, and goals? Such a great comment. Such a great
And
question.
from such a great human. Hi, Darcy. So glad to see you here. Yeah, it is a fantastic and because I do think there's the practical app is, whenever we do chakra work, we kind of really work through the life. I always call it the lifey parts of life. Like what
Very
like
nice.
your daily life,
Yeah.
improving your relationships, improving your health, improving your connection with your own emotional life. So it's very practical that way. And I've noticed like an overall lightening of our students, like, kind of doing the checking the last check-ins as we're winding down the year. People seem so much lighter, happier, their nervous systems feel really calm, so I feel like they're addressing the lifey parts of life with more equanimity, with
Yeah.
more grace, with more a higher level, not taking things so personally,
Yeah.
not getting so triggered, or when they do get triggered they know what to do. I don't know,
Yeah.
that's what I think. What do you notice, Jane?
Yeah. I think to you and I together make a really great team. And one of the things that I know I bring to the table is to bring ancient wisdom and kind of complex ideas, spiritual ideas, into practical tools. And
Mm,
that's like a massive part of the school is to
yeah.
really boil it down into like how do I actually bring this into my daily life. And so we give homework and we give tips and tricks and tools. I don't leave a single class without giving at least like 3 to 5 tools, because it's
Mhm.
true. It's like well, there's all this. What do I do with that? What do I do with all that sort of esoteric wisdom?
Yeah.
And so that you can really feel more grounded and confident and aligned with yourself, but also putting these ideas into practice.
Right. Yeah, and I think like we put such a heavy emphasis on spiritual practice, finding one, sticking to one. We teach a lot of different kinds, so we've exposed our students to many different types of meditation techniques and grounding techniques because ultimately for me like the spiritual growth comes from my committing to my spiritual practice, my meditation, my 22 minutes of meditation that I don't want to do today, but I'm going to do it. And then like that accumulation of, like you don't want to, you want to get fit and you don't want to go to the gym, but you make yourself go to the gym and suddenly 8 months later, you're in a different shape than you were, your fitness level is increased. And it's a bit like that. It's like that spiritual fitness. Um, happens when we really apply that. You kind of can't slack on that. That's what I think. Or if you do slack on it, you're not going to have the same results that if you really commit to that. And so we really created a container that helped people return to that over and over again so they could see. And I think that's a big reason why they saw so much growth this year.
Yeah, because ultimately each individual has to do their own work. And, I liken a mystery school maybe to like a Shaolin temple. Like they're not just like
Mhm.
hearing the information, they're actually putting it into practice. And this is
Right.
the same, and it's like there is work to be done, and it is still up to us individually to do that work. But at the when we put those pennies into the savings account, it really does pay off over time, and we notice that our energy shifts and our vibration shifts and our consciousness shifts, and our nervous system shifts, and we're able to regulate our emotions better. Like there's so much that comes
Yeah.
with the work that we are teaching and offering.
And I love how in the first year we focused on the chakras, and a lot of our students have already done a lot of chakra work,
Yeah,
and yet it was so fruitful
yeah.
to do like another really deep round. And so we're just spending a whole month kind of in each chakra and Jane and I talk about them in really complementary ways. Jane brings in the quantum, energy, like what is that looking like on more of that this sort of fifth dimensional kind of way, but there's something so powerful about really working the chakras in a deep way to kind of clear the channel, to
Hmm.
just r release like a nut where how no matter how many times you've done it, I mean, I've done it a lot. I've done it many, many, many times, the chakras, and every time I do it, I'm like, "Oh, there's more in there. There's more. It's deeper. There's more to, process and let go of," whether it's childhood trauma or past life stuff or lineage stuff or just crusty old ways that I think about things or feelings that haven't been fully processed yet. And so it's sort of really cleaning out the and the we're working in the first year with the conscious mind and the chakra system. So cleaning out the conscious mind, becoming really aware and cleaning out the temple
Hmm.
um in another way. And I just find it so powerful working
Hmm.
with the chakras.
Yeah, totally agree. And something
Yeah.
that we also the chakras in the first year is a framework, and that's something that in this mystery school we really believe in, are working with the five bodies. And
Yeah.
so that's another thing is, you have the physical body, of course, we're all very aware of it. There's the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, and then what we call the quantum body. And so we really go into each of those and how everything
Mhm.
is affected um, in each body, and it
Yeah.
brings the new lens and another layer, of the onion gets peeled back because we're looking um,
Right.
at each body. And
I do have to say that's brilliant. It's like a brilliant way to work the chakras,
yeah,
that I think we came up with. And that's so effective to look at the first chakra through the through the physical body, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, quantum body. And then each chakra we do that.
yeah,
It's super effective.
totally. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really fun. I think as even as the teacher, as this somebody who sits as in the seat of the teacher, it's been incredibly
Yeah.
impactful and fruitful. Um,
Yeah, Darcy's mentioning the quantum body that she's never heard of that. And we hadn't either until we got into this and kind of understanding, like, that's why it's a quantum mystery school, is that there's certain sort of upgrades that we have to our energy field that haven't been available to us. Or maybe they've always been there, but I haven't been able to experience them or see them. And I was like, oh, we were discovering that there's this fifth body that we now have access to, maybe in a way we didn't before. And that's kind of how we relate into the quantum field, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And we make it it is I do feel like it is new information as
Mhm.
our consciousness raises in humanity, we're
Yeah.
being given access to new things. That's the best way I can say it. And so it is new and it is really cool, and we do talk about that. um, and it's not, we make sure to do it because this is like our whole thing is to do it in an embodied way, so that again, we're
Mhm.
not out there in the ethos like, oh, this is so amazing, because that feels so great, yes, but we're more interested in everybody doing the work here in these, you know, incredible temple human bodies. um,
Mhm.
and so that's key to, when even though we're going way out there, like we're still bringing it back in. And because we want to, like going back to the original question, how do we apply that to our daily lives? Because that's really what it's about. How do we, how can we live, how can we be happy, happier and free,
Right.
right?
I love it so much. And I love too, like, one of the lenses that we use too is we use the chakras, we use the five bodies, and we use the three minds. So
Yeah.
we're really working through the three minds, the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the superconscious mind, right?
Yeah.
And how we need to have sort of very fluid access through them because they're all super important, they're all necessary. And that we're in the first year, we're working with the unconscious mind, with a conscious mind, and kind of
Mhm.
clearing out, that's our beliefs, our thoughts, how we think, the lenses that we're looking at, that we're, I put my glasses on, that's the conscious mind lens. And then I'm so excited as we're going into the second year because we're dipping into the subconscious mind. Or sort of the second year, is sort of more like the journey to the underworld and what's embedded in our subconscious that still has a massive impact on us that a lot of times we don't know because it's not part of our everyday awareness. And then the third year, we go into the super conscious mind, which is like the higher self mind, the quantum self, because we have a higher self, but then we also have a quantum self, and they're sort of different. They're really high, the highly evolved parts of who we are. And so working in the third year with the super conscious mind gives us that sort of transcendent experience that we're looking for.
Yeah. And it's really
Yeah.
important to have those three in that order. You know,
Hmm.
the 3 years are super important. You can't skip ahead, even if you've done so much work in this
Yeah.
school. You can't skip ahead and just jump into to year three,
Right.
because there is so much work to do, with the conscious mind. Even just the understanding, and to getting to understanding the framework of like the school itself, and like you said, the subconscious mind, oh my gosh. I mean, it rules just about everything we do every
I
day.
know, and we don't know.
Right.
That's the nature of the subconscious mind, is we don't know. So I'm super interesting to get back, get into that. It's already like the way this works is I'm already, as we're shifting
Yeah.
energetically into year two, I'm like deep in this exploration of my own subconscious mind, which is hilarious and terrifying
Yeah.
at the same time. But um, yeah, and I also wanted to talk a little bit, bring up this idea of the initiation, because we call our first year students initiates, and it's a really deep part of mystery school practice is to go through initiation. So we finish every year with a kind of ritual retreat or initiation process that marks the work that we've done. In a true initiation changes you in some fundamental way, that we've all been through many initiatory experiences in our life, many of them, and most of the time they just kind of happen spontaneously, but this is a very purposeful process that we bring you through.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's important, the initiation, like we've sort of said, it isn't just about gaining the knowledge. It's about really activating those higher states of awareness.
Mhm.
And we're talking about spiritual work here, so we're looking. Our intention is to help you unlock like dormant spiritual potential. And that's part of the
Mhm.
awakening. That's the awakening to yourself. And like you said, an initiation is really a rite of passage,
Yep.
and it's important to honor rites of passage. It's important to honor like thresholds. It's important
Yeah.
to really honor the container that we've created and the beginning and the end. And so initiation is also a part of that. Um, and and you'll notice at the end, within yourself, or hopefully, like your intuition and your energy field are different. The connection to the universe is more clear. And you hopefully there's like you've feel more access to your own personal power, and so there's it's that initiation that really kind of marks a time, I feel like.
Mhm. Yeah. Exactly. Like there's sort of like the time before and the time after, and the
Yes.
initiation, you're not the same before as you were after. And Darcy's asking about, can we say more about um dormant spiritual potential?
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you have to say about that, Jane?
Well, I'll say first and then you can go. Just that within each of us, you know, we're on this path of awakening as humans. And in our experience, in our understanding, we've done this many, many lifetimes, right? And in each lifetime, we're sort of getting closer and closer actually to the core of our true self,
Mm,
which is closer and closer to divine source. And so that dormant spiritual potential is sort of like we're remembering what has always been there. It's something that
mm,
exists whether we are aware of it or not. And it's the remembering and the like, oh, there I am. And this is the know thyself, right?
mm. Yeah, and I think too, like, we have, like, our spiritual potential in a way we don't know what it is. Like, or we have, like, a sense of, like, what's just out of reach, like, "Oh, I might have psychic gifts, or I might have, like, healing abilities, or I might have, like, really, really powerful, like, ability to connect with spirit inside my own self." And then there's just what's outside of what we don't think is possible or we haven't uncovered yet. And I think how we're meant to contribute into the world, how we experience, ecstatic states or transcendent states. That's the mystery. That's the mystery in the mystery school is what our potential is. And I think we severely underestimate,
Yeah.
most of the time as humans, what our superpowers are, what our gifts are, what our potential to contribute to humanity, to be of service to the world. And being of service to the world is also part of the mystery school. So we're doing it for ourselves, but and we're also thinking a lot about, well, what's my contribution?
Mm-hmm.
And we do more of that in year 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the potential is always there's what and there's always sort of the sun rising above the horizon, Well, what is that? What is going to be there that we can't even imagine now?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
we really don't know. And I feel
Yeah.
like we've never really will know until maybe we cycle off the
Get there.
planet. Maybe.
Yeah, till we get
Maybe
there.
then.
And then there's just the next level, like the next um sort of level of evolution. So,
Level of evolution, level of service. I don't
yeah.
think it stops just because we're not in human form.
Yeah, and we will be opening the school really soon for enrollment. So, if this is something you're interested in, you can go to our website, quantummystic.com, and get on a waiting list. And pretty soon that will be open for enrollment. We start in June, and we meet pretty much every week in June, and we meet on Fridays. I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern time. What time is that on the West Coast?
It's
11, 9,
9 a.m. No,
10 a.m. 10 a.m.
it's noon your time.
Year two, but year one
Yeah.
will be
We're getting
2
all
p.m.
confused.
Yeah, it'll be 10 Pacific time and 2 Eastern time, if that's right, if I did the math right. Maybe I did. But yeah, so Fridays anyway, and we can start in June. And when we start up again, and yeah, there's a little bit of an application process, but we're super excited, and I think we've got a great price point on it too. Like it's a pretty affordable program, and we really wanted to make it accessible to everybody. Yeah, so we'll be opening enrollments in April, and we're excited to get a bunch of new students, and we're so proud of the students that we have that have, gone through the program, because what better thing could we do, Jane, than sort of, this is our contribution to raise the consciousness of humanity. I mean, in our own small way, like this is what we're doing to do that. And I really love the ripple, effect that's going on, throughout the world. As we do that, what's going on with our students, like what's happening as our students reach a new level of consciousness? How are they impacting all the people that are around them? So that's like that's like the fulfillment of a really long dream that I've had, of like contributing to humanity and how I want to do it.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. And I think that's
Yeah.
why you and I both got that sort of lightning bolt of we need to start a mystery school is to
Yep.
how can we be of greatest service to humanity?
Yep.
Knowing what's happening in the world, seeing the amount of stress and anxiety and disconnect that people are feeling, and wanting to be able to offer again these tools so that people can get out of that sort of fear-based pattern and into a place where they feel aligned with their souls and align with and feel confident and feel ease and feel their nervous systems regulated.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this was our way of contributing. And it's, I feel like if you're having fun, then you must be doing something right, because we're having
Yeah.
fun.
So fun. It's so fascinating. It's so fun. It's so humbling in a way for me. Just I'm really in awe and honor of our students,
Yeah.
and what they've done, and how they've progressed. And it makes me like, there's sort of like this humble gratitude that I feel about like being able to live my purpose in such a beautiful way. And that's really kind of part of the kind of cutting edge of human evolution.
Yeah.
I just feel super humbled. And of course, like we always, as teachers in a mystery school, we embody what's, the principles that we're teaching, because it doesn't work unless we do that. And so it's the cutting edge of my growth, and there's no place else I want to be. I want to be at the cutting edge of my growth all the time, because that's where I feel alive, and where things are good.
100%. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so grateful, so honored. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So if this feels interesting to you, drop us a line. You can email me, lisa@lisacampion.com. You can email Jane if do you have some contact information you want to share too, if people are interested in working with you, Jane?
Yeah. Jane Bear Studio, healingstudio.com.
Yeah, janebearhealingstudio.com. Jane's a fantastic quantum energy healer and mystic and psychic, and she's really good to work with. So if you have interest, let us know. We'll drop some links to the school in the comments too. And yeah, we'd love to be help you on your journey and be your companions, your guides on the journey. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks, Jane, for being here. And thanks all for tuning in for this incredible conversation. We'll see you all next time.